Good morning. It's time for coffee with Karma. Yay! Okay, that just sounded like Kermit the Frog. Anyway, do you feel overwhelmed by even the mere idea of writing a book? I get you, because I've had some pretty overwhelming book projects in my time, and then I've had others that were a breeze. And you know what made the difference? A lot of it was what I thought about before I wrote the book. So, bonus tip, not one of the seven, change your mindset around the book. You can either change, like if you think it has to be a tome, write a short book instead. Or if you've got this tight deadline, you don't think you can make it, who made the deadline? You did. You can change it. Believe me, I've changed deadlines many times. Sometimes that's what releases the valve. But those are those are bonus tips. My name is Carma Spence and I help entrepreneurs write a client attracting short book, sometimes a long book, in 90 days or less. So I kind of have some ideas of what you need to do in order to get that book done in a short time span without making yourself go crazy. So the first thing, and I've said this, if I've said this once, I've probably said it a million times, and that is write an outline. Again, it doesn't have to be this detailed outline. I'm not going to go into how to write an outline in this episode because, hi, Dolly, um, because it's outside of the scope of Coffee with Karma. But I do have a podcast episode that does cover that. I will drop that in the link. Second one, set achievable goals. You know, I had a client once who wanted to be a soccer player because he'd been a soccer player in his original home country. But he was now in his 30s and he was not in prime athletic state. But as his life coach at the time, I wasn't going to tell him you can't do it because if you put your mind to it, maybe he could have. He was still young enough that he probably could have done it if he had decided to do the things he needed to do. So that's what I stress. Okay, what do you need to do in order to get there? And he would list all the things he needed to do. And I said, will you be doing those things? And he's like, probably not. So set achievable goals. Yes, we have wild dreams and it's wonderful to have those dreams. But when you want to start making those dreams manifest in the real world, set achievable goals along that on the journey to that dream. You're not going to achieve the dream from zero to there. I mean, like if I wanted to be an astronaut, I couldn't be an astronaut tomorrow. I'd have to go through the whole astronaut training program, which takes, I believe, a few years. So set achievable goals. That's all I'm going to say about that one. And I probably have an article. If I find it, I'll drop it in the link below. Tip number 3, take your natural rhythms into account. If you aren't a morning person, don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to write your book because you're probably just going to sit there and look at the blank page and go, Z. If you're not a night person, don't stay up late to write your book. Find the time of the day that works best with your own biorhythms and use your prime time to write your book. Now, you could, if you wanted to, get up early or stay up late to get rid of those things that you don't need your brain for, like folding laundry and, whatnot. But if you're going to be writing a book, you can't use your less than prime time to do it. So understand when you are at your best and use that time to write. Tip number 4, break your book down into manageable parts. That's what an outline helps you do. Enough said. Tip number 5, don't edit as you go. If you constantly edit as you go, you will never get past your first chapter because you'll keep editing and fine tuning and editing and fine tuning. It'll never be perfect. Just get the first draft out, edit later. Tip number 6, seek support when appropriate and when you need it. Now, what does that mean? That may mean, hey, honey, can you do the laundry today? That could be the support you need. It could be someone who teaches you along the way, like me. If that's of interest to you, drop a GIF on the comment and say me. I would like to talk to you, and then I'll give you my schedule link. But find the help you need when you need it. Again, it's not always a mentor. Sometimes it's just, have your kids pick up after themselves so that you don't have to do it. And my 7th and final tip is celebrate the milestones along the way. And I did an entire podcast all about the different ways, clever and not so clever ways, that you can celebrate your milestones along the way. And I will drop a link to that below as well. So I hope those 7 tips help you get rid of the overwhelm of writing a book, because, a lot of that overwhelm happens right here. It's all an illusion. The book will get done when it gets done, as long as you just keep taking the steps one at a time. Now, if you've got some additional tips besides those 7 and my bonus ones, I'd love to hear what they are. Drop them in a comment below. Ciao for now.